Madhyamikins assert that, conventionally speaking, practice means that in order to realize transcendent, non-discriminating wisdom and right contemplation of emptiness, one should train to acquire that wisdom which is obtained from hearing and reflecting, and which can do away with object support. Training to develop insight into emptiness is called practice. However, according to ultimate truth, due to the fact that there is nothing to be obtained and discriminated, there is nothing to be practiced. This then is what is termed practice. The Vimalakirti-Nirdesa-Sutra says that non-practice is enlightenment because there should be no conceptualization. The Prajnaparamita-Sutra also says one does not perceive practice and does not perceive non-practice because there is no inherent nature. Now, what we call practice is actually non-practice. This is what's meant by practice. It is not that there is something to be practiced. From another perspective, in another interpretation of practice, it is asserted that there is nothing to be practiced and that there is nothing that cannot be practiced. This is what is meant by practice. If there was something to be practiced and something that could not be practiced, this could not be called practice. Again, it is explained that any conceptualization or grasping is the root of samsara, or birth and death, and thus is not practice. Disciplining the mind to eradicate conceptualizations is the root of transcending worldly existence. This is practice. The Yogacarans say that although a magician who plays tricks cannot actually transform anything, it appears that he can. Similarly, due to causes and conditions, a person hears the Dharma, believes it, trains to realize it, and teaches it without forsaking it for a moment. However, non-discriminating, not seeing the marks of practice, that is, the various experiential and meditative realms of cognition, is what is meant by practice. It is not that there is no need to practice. It is the illness of erroneous conceptualization that should be eliminated, not the Dharma. If there are fundamentally no dharmas that can be practiced, or from which one can sever attachment, then those ignorant of the Dharma will claim that they are already enlightened, and wrongly claiming to be enlightened, they will cause themselves great harm. Since the substance of the so-called flowers seen in the sky due to cataracts of the eyes is empty, the flowers are not what needs to be cured. Since these flowers do not exist, how can they be eliminated? However, if the cataract is not eliminated, there will be no healthy eye. How does ultimate truth reveal that the sky flower is essentially empty? If there is nothing that is to be practiced and nothing that is not practiced, and if the unenlightened state of sentient beings is nothing other than enlightenment, then all beings should have been enlightened from beginningless time. However, from the very beginning they are not enlightened. So, who is it that is enlightened? If terminating conceptualization were a genuine exclusive practice, no thought would be the true and perfect path. All precepts would be useless, and training would be forsaken. Consider this carefully. Here, practice means that although a person practices, he does not perceive that he is practicing. This does not mean that there is no need for practice. The sutra asserts, quote, "One does not perceive practice and does not perceive non-practice, because conventionally there is practice, while ultimately there is no practice."